Just as I thought it was.
Yeah, you're never wrong.
Here's another question for you.
Mm.
What are waltz? WALTS. What are waltz? Where do they come from? And how did they originate? I will answer it for you because
No,
it's not everybody. It's not everybody who knows this. The term comes from the fictional character Walter Mitty.
mm.
He constantly daydreamed about being a war hero. The term is used as slang in the British Army to describe those blokes who parade around claiming to be ex-soldiers
Mm.
with their chests full of fake war medals,
Yeah.
which we all see from time.
Mm.
I suppose up to a certain degree, King Charles could be a Walt, except he hasn't claimed to be a war hero.
Yeah.
However, he does wear a lot of bling on
Yeah.
his chest, to suggest that he might have been at one time. But we've already done that. We've already
Yeah.
done that podcast.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's illegal to wear medals that are not yours or you haven't earned or are replicas if
Yeah.
the intent is to deceive.
Yes.
Right. There have been a few famous cases in the press, which I was checking up on. So in 2008, 74-year-old Tom Cattell, he wore medals during a Remembrance Day parade, and he'd done so for almost a decade across the country. He went to different parades across the country. He claimed he was the youngest serviceman to fight in the Korean War and one of the oldest to fight in the Falklands. All of it was a lie. All of it was not true. He spent time in the Territorial Army. If you ask a squaddy what a tab is,
no compliment. Yeah.
I think you've got an idea, right?
Yeah.
And he did serve as a cook in a brief stint in the actual army. In 2010, Roger Day, an ex-serviceman, he was wearing 17 medals during a Remembrance Day parade, whilst all his comrades back in the day, back in more or less the same, one or two. He insisted his medals were pucker, so a word which means legit and
kosher,
highly esteemed.
Yes.
But he was found guilty, and I think he was fined in the end. He was fined. 2015. It's not limited to the British Army, by the way.
No. Okay.
2015 in Quebec, in Canada, Frank Gervais, 32, was seen in full military uniform and medals at a Remembrance Day parade in Ottawa at the National War Museum.
Okay.
He did this actually in 2014, but it's only 2015 when the article came out. He claimed he was a military sergeant, and he was wearing a Medal of Bravery, a special service medal, Canadian Peacekeeping Medal, a NATO medal for Kosovo, and Canadian Forces Medal for 12 years service. The truth is, it ended up he was a cadet for a few years in the 1990s, and he never actually joined up in the army.
Okay. Disgrace.
We can move on. 2024 in Victoria, in Australia. 58-year-old Darren McDonald, he was accused of wearing fake medals. He made up his service history as a returned soldier.
Mm.
A returned soldier is one that has been posted overseas in
Yeah.
Australia. When
Yeah.
you're posted overseas, when you go back to Australia, you're called a returned soldier.
Mm.
And uh, he became St. Leonard's Returned Soldiers League sub-branch president.
Sounds impressive. Yeah.
But he was stood down after fellow members twigged on to his scam.
Mm.
It seems McDonald's did do 10 years in the army,
Mm.
but has never been posted overseas. So he just embellished his
Yeah. Your
curriculum.
CV. Yeah.
Going back a year, 2023,
Mm.
about this one. The UK boss of Northampton Police, Nick Adderley,
Mm.
repeatedly wore a Falklands War gong. It's called
Mm.
a gong,
Yeah.
despite being only 15 years old at the time of the conflict. He
Yeah.
claimed he claimed it was given to him. He was given the medal by his brother
Mm.
before his brother emigrated to Australia. However, his brother has been photographed wearing the medal since. So,
Thank God. Yeah.
some people in Australia said, the postal service must have been very, very busy as this goes backwards and forwards.
Yes. Yeah. It's
It's the medal that Nick Adderley was wearing is a false one, a replica.
yeah. Yeah.
To get his job as chief constable, he claimed he served in the Royal Navy for 10 years
Right.
and served in the Falklands War on an aircraft carrier. It turned out he was in the Navy for less than 2 years,
Mm.
and he joined in 1984 as a young lad. 2 years after the war had ended in the Falklands. He served as an ordinary seaman and not as an officer, as he claimed.
Okay.
Right. There are four little stories there.
Yeah.
Why have I told these stories? What have they all
Yeah.
got? What have they got in common?
No, it's just going. Yeah.
Present day. Here we go. Kamala Harris.
I can give it.
She stepped on the ball big time with a VP
Mm.
choice.
Yes. Yeah.
His name is Tim Walz. Well, first of all, basically, she threw MSNBC under the bus,
Yeah.
right? Along with a lot of other left-wing news outlets. By calling relatively old, 60 years old.
Mm.
I'm older than he is, but he looks older than what I do. To
Yeah.
give you an
Yeah. Yeah.
idea. A white and a male
Oh.
to be her running mate. So basically, they can't use the old white male argument against Trump anymore. She's done the exact same thing, you know.
Well. Yeah. But,
It seems that Waltz could be a Walt too, right?
mm. Glasses. Yeah.
They call it something else in the US. I think they call it uh, um, something like honors robbery or something like that.
Yeah.
It's
I'll,
in the-
I'll find out the term and put it up
right,
later. Yeah.
okay. Although he served in the National Guard on and off, and I say
Mm.
on and off, is sometimes part-time, sometimes a
Yeah.
reservist, all this.
Yeah.
During over 24 years, he didn't retire with the rank he claimed to be,
Okay.
and he never was deployed to a war zone, which several times he has suggested uh, in some of his latest
Mm.
speeches.
Yeah.
He falsely claimed to be an Iraqi vet, an Iraq war veteran.
Mm.
In 2017, he said, "We can make sure those weapons of war that I carried in war are only carried in war. So by saying that, he's saying that he was in Iraq in 2017 carrying the. The truth is that when his unit was to be deployed to Iraq, he retired. He knew that his unit was going to be deployed in.
It got out. Yeah,
he jumped out. He jumped out 2 years early, if I'm not mistaken, something like that. And he left his unit without an NCO, a non-commissioned officer. And even CNN is twigging on this fact and subtly suggested that this bloke is not the real deal. And now I'm sure that this subject is going to be brought up a lot more over the next 91 days or so.
Yes.
And the reason that I need to ask myself, I can see why the boss of Northampton Police did what he did. It's to get his job.
Okay. Yeah, it's not good, but yeah.
But some of these guys dressing up with fake medals and medals that they didn't win, going on parades and all this, I don't know why they do it. I'd like to know why they do it. The guy in Australia, he claimed he was a returned soldier. I don't know if it was so he could become president of this returns, because he'd have to be a member of the Returned Soldiers Club before he was president. So
get in, yeah.
Did he just do that to try and infiltrate the Returned Soldiers Club?
Well, what end? Yeah, it's prestige, maybe. It's probably prestige. It's some sort of strange mental thing. Yeah.
It's a lot to do with trying to satisfy their own ego.
That's it, yeah.
And they must know that they didn't do what they claim to have done, but they just tell barefaced lies about it anyway to try and make it bigger.
Yeah, unless they are living in some sort of weird fantasy at some point.
Right. What brings me back to Kamala's vice presidential choice. Because he could be in a fantasy as well. Can he be relied upon to be a vice president? I'm not even going into his political views. What he's done. Right.
Okay, that's by and by. Yeah.
That's for another time.
Yeah.
But this thing about the military and over embellishing and over trying to make yourself look grandiose and all this, there's got to be something wrong there. There's got to be something wrong psychologically with the guy.
Well, yeah. Well, okay. Yeah, you're asking me about psychology and politicians, but yeah, here we go.
If you're a Democrat, by the way, I apologize.
Yeah, this isn't about being a Democrat or being a Republican or an independent or anything else. If there's something not right, there's something not right. Yeah, we all know that Trump never served, but he never claimed to have done. Whatever you might say, medical conditions. Yeah, it's a. I mean, yeah, I'm listening to you. I mean, obviously, I've spoken about me thinking about going in the services once and didn't, and kind of half regretting it. But I'd never make up any story that I ever was, or wouldn't even pretend to be there. These people must know they're going to, like you say, unless they're totally cranked, psychologically issued, they must know they're going to get found out. Because people, I mean, on that. We both know even here, there's people been in the armed services and they take it very seriously. Yeah,
they do.
Yeah, I mean, they're very
so much so it's become law. If you do that, in some countries you can go to prison.
Yeah. Well, it's I mean, they're proud. Thank you for their services. I know it's an American thing, but even to British or anyone that served anywhere, thank you for your service. But it's a yes, I think it's very, very serious, a very, very serious issue. I mean, I remember the police guy in the UK, appalling, really. And he's not just misappropriating the military, he's misappropriated the police, which is not a good look at the moment, unfortunately. And yeah. Okay. Your sound's just gone, Steve.
Mine.
Oh yeah, sorry, you're back again. Yeah. Yes, back again. Yeah. Yeah, so it's not a good look for the police even. A policeman that lies.
There's new for you.
We'll keep away from this podcast. You said in the previous, yeah. I mean, obviously, I've spoken that I've got my great uncle's medals. They've given posthumously because I'm named after him. Yeah, and I've got a certificate where they came from and everything. Yeah, it's all been given to me. They're in the UK still, because I think they're safer there. Funny enough, but yeah, it's all very strange into this vice president, which I saw all this coming when you said Waltz before, and I know the term Walter Mitty. Yeah, I've read enough military books to know how they are viewed in the military as well when they're serving. And I've worked with a couple of people who are a bit suspect on that score. That it is when I read it, and I thought, yeah, this broke this morning. I read it on Fox. I thought, well, already Fox News is going to have an agenda against the guy already before they start. Okay. I would hope that Fox has actually got the receipts to prove all this. I imagine the gentleman, Dan Crenshaw, the Republican, is it Dan Crenshaw?
What, the JD Vance?
No, JD Vance, the guy who's got the patch on his eye.
Oh, right, yeah. Yes, yeah. Crenshaw.
Yeah, I imagine he's probably already gone into it. He's got enough mates around to actually have probably found this out. He's probably been beaten to it, actually.
Well, yeah. JD Vance is a war vet. He's an Iraqi war vet.
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah.
So he'll know about it.
Yeah. Well, even, well, no, there's a lot of them that are. It doesn't know which side they are on. They will take this quite seriously. If there's any Democrats, they would be absolutely disgusted if it's proved to be true. I can imagine who will be having a few words about it. The Hawaiian woman. Apologies to her. I can't remember
Tulsi Gabbard.
her name. Yeah, Tulsi Gabbard. Yeah. I imagine she'll probably be having a few things to say, because she still serves. But honestly, to be quite honest, I don't do anything that's coming out about any of this anywhere in the world now. I'm feeling it's a pantomime. It really is. That we're talking about these people living in a fantasy. The whole lot is a fantasy, to put it bluntly. How could this? I mean, to actually go there and claim something, get into that position, and then suspicions already being cast, is very, very troubling. I mean, okay. From anyone. Again, when I'm looking around at that side of it, unfortunately, I'd like to see a good Democrat Party, like anyone else, as a good opposition to Republicans. The Republicans do win. I still think it's important in a democracy to have a very, very competent opposition. I'm beginning to wonder about the whole party system anywhere in the world at the moment. But I'm going to go leave that for another day. But yeah, I don't know the guy. When you said Waltz, I immediately knew where this was going. Yeah, I must admit I've not read up a lot about him. Because he's Kamala Harris's choice. She's entitled to choose whomever she wishes. Yeah.
Of course.
She is, whether we like it or not, a runner for the presidential elections. A possible future president. So she's got to choose whoever she considers the most suitable vice president, who could possibly be a replacement if something goes drastically wrong. Yeah.
I think he was chosen for her.
I was trying not to say that. Yeah, I believe that as well. Um, yeah, I'm a little bit more. I think I should run to be a politician because I don't actually say directly what I mean sometimes.
Yeah.
That's been suggested to me. I don't like going to politics because I'm very good at innuendo. But well, not as the case may be, it appears. But yeah, it's all very strange. If it is true, it's a slap in the face to anyone who served in the military. And like I was talking about the athletes in the Olympics, they're the important people in any country. Unfortunately, we still need military, and they're the important people in all this.
Holds everything up. Yep.
Yeah, and if we now get
not hold everything up like progress, but
yeah,
support the country.
Yeah, and anyone that has served is, like I say, normally very proud. Anyone that reads books about it and talks about it, like me, sometimes is considered not a Walter Mitty, but why do you do that? Well, it's an interest. As like I said, I did a service to military once. I didn't go in. Doesn't make me a coward. There were circumstances why. Sometimes wish I had done. It'd have probably been a very different story, but who knows? I might not be here now. That's the reality of serving in the military. That you're there for a game. Yes, it is a bit of a sports club. People there to enjoy it because they're encouraged to enjoy it as well. It's hard graft. But yeah, when you're downtime, you're encouraged to enjoy yourself because you don't know when that could be your last day. Deployment is a serious, and anyone that mocks it, to me, is not a human being. Quite frankly, it's despicable, and I think it should carry severe penalties.